outcomes, not communiques and things like that, or declarations. So, what do you see about the intent as far as India's presidency is concerned?
I think I agree with Ambassador Bhatia that it's going to be outcome focused, and there are large number of events already listed. So there will be also hands-on immediate challenges that G20 is going to face, and also long-term challenges. And it is definitely, once it is elevated to the summit level from 2008, has become a forum which is whole of government and therefore deals with all other issues as well. So, for instance, in Bali, the big question now is that there's a demand for Russia to be evicted from G20. Will that linger on for India's initial meetings when India begins to organize meetings, and how India will handle that, given its very careful kind of proactive neutrality on this whole Ukraine crisis, or likewise long-term issues where India has underlined the long-term underinvestment in critical sectors, which are now big challenges in areas of food security and, of course, fuel security,
Yes.
energy security, or climate change, another important area which I think G20 will have to focus on as to how to ensure a certain amount of financing of climate challenges in that sense. So there are going to be a lot of sort of logistical, tactical, immediate challenges in terms of brass tacks level, and then of course providing the overall direction. But fundamentally, G20, it's a group of 19 largest economies plus European Union, is macroeconomics. So how in the post-pandemic period it wants to give a new direction to sort of supply chains, value chains, macroeconomy, reforms in WTO, several of these fundamentally issues relating to trade and financial governance at the global level, I think is going to be the focus. And India definitely, as the fastest growing, largest economy, a larger economy, is definitely going to be seen as taking lead in pushing, making a value addition to that change.
But Professor Swaran Singh, talking about taking India's success story, one of them is also the digital transformation, which is a success story which is going to be taken to the world. We see that it's helped fulfill many of the SDGs, or help India move towards achieving them, such as reduced inequalities, providing decent work, putting us on the path of rapid growth, all that. How important is the digital story, transformation of India, and as a model for the G20?
I think clearly among G20 countries, India has several sectors where its e-commerce or its digital platforms are setting an example. And the pandemic saw the CoWIN, for example, platform emerging as a kind of an iconic platform, which is kind of replicated in several other countries. And therefore, whether it is digitization of economy, or it is smart cities, and the fact that events are moving across India would showcase how at various various parts of India, digital economy is working, digital platforms are functioning, and the fact that several other non-governmental organizations are also getting involved will showcase India's democracy. And I think in that sense, India being an example of IT superpower in some sense, at least in several sectors of digital economy, is an opportunity for India to showcase that. And how services sector again in India is something which can be showcased during these multiple events. So there are many sectors in which India would be able to showcase its strengths and build new synergies and partnerships.
Indeed.